Alright, the story that we had is The Notorious Jumping Frog of Calaveras County by Mark Twain. Here we go, Hunter.
Where the story takes place is a rundown tavern. That is first person. Calaveras County is third person. The story takes place in 1949 onward. The settings changes as the point of view transitions to third person. It adds an interesting style of telling of the story.
God, what the heck is that, bro?
We'll just add her in there.
That was a slide transition.
Oh, why do we have slide transitions?
I don't know.
in here?
The plot is, it starts with the exposition, and it starts when a man goes to see Simon Wheeler while looking for a friend's friend, Leonidas W. Smiley. Instead, Wheeler tells the narrator about a man named Jim Smiley. The rising action occurs when Wheeler begins to ramble on about Smiley and how his betting tendencies are frequent as well as lucky. The climax occurs when Wheeler tells the story of Smiley's frog, who he trains to jump farther than any other in the county. He bets the man $40 that the frog can beat any other. Meanwhile, the man fills the frog's mouth with lead shot. The following action happens when Smiley's frog loses, and Smiley realizes that he was cheated. He tries to catch the other man, but can't. The resolution occurs when the narrator gets bored of Wheeler telling these stories about Smiley, and leaves before the next story starts.
There's multiple characters in this story. One of the characters is the narrator, which no name was given for him, and he's listening to his friend Wheeler tell the story. Wheeler is obviously the friend that tells the story. He's the narrator of Smiley's story. And then Smiley is the main character and the protagonist, and the stranger that Smiley bets with is the antagonist. There are really no dynamic characters in this story. Since it was a tall tale, no lessons were learned, and nobody changes in any appreciable way.
The theme of this story relates to conformity and the fact that Smiley is a nonconformist. Most people aren't really big gamblers like Smiley is. Also, the story relates to identity because Smiley wanted to be known as the rich gambler. Some additional themes would be even the lucky lose sometimes, be careful with bets, they can cause some issues, and don't trust strangers.
So the author's style. This was written by Mark Twain, and Mark Twain uses an interesting style of writing. Not only was it a tall tale, but it was written using a redneck style of writing. The grammar and spelling rules are ignored to add a storyteller's feel to the story. The large number of exaggerations throughout the story gives it a true tall tale feel. One could say that Twain also wrote the story to be an allegory regarding the risks of betting. The most interesting yet confusing part of Twain's style is that he switches the point of view in the story. It starts out in a first-person point of view, but then switches to a third-person omniscient point of view. At the conclusion of the story, Twain transitions back to the original first-person point of view.